The time has come. It has taken long enough. We are finally reacting to Doja Cat's guide to e-girl beauty. I feel like I saw this reaction video ages ago, but I don't remember it. I think she uses The Ordinary. I think she almost burns off her hair. We're gonna see what Doja Cat uses and what skincare is going to kiss her face more in the past than it does currently, because if you didn't know, she does have a skincare line. Oh yes. So hello, your resident skincare big sister, medical esthetician, and crazy cat lady. Technically, hello, my fellow kittens. We are going to analyze, scrutinize, and learn from Doja Cat's e-girl beauty skincare routine.
Hey Vogue, it's Doja Cat. I'm about to show you a look that I do pretty often. It's like my e-girl, like sickly look, where I look like I just woke up and blew my nose and I have pneumonia. So let's do that. I'm gonna start with skincare. I do a face wash and I use Tatcha. Get all that night mask off.
Tatcha! This is actually not surprising coming from Doja Cat. First off, I love how authentic she is. She's so real. She has actually done a live stream of doing drunk skincare on her floor, and it has included Tatcha. So seeing that she's staying consistent with her products is a huge, wonderful thing. We love to see that. This is the Deep Cleanse Exfoliating Cleanser, and Tatcha is one of those brands that claims to be Japanese beauty, but they're actually American beauty that is Japanese inspired. Out of all of the Tatcha products, this one is $40. That's not an insane price. The ingredients are not bad. I just don't think that they are phenomenal. There is some fragrance in it. There's some silk. It's a lot of more basic things, some nice cleansers, some glycerin, so a little bit more hydrating to the skin. We also have that, what I call Camellia sinensis leaf extract, but it's technically Camellia sinensis, which is very similar to what Chanel has been throwing into their skincare products. But yeah, it's good. It's got some rice ferment filtrate. I just don't think it is fantastic. And the whole Tatcha line, I feel like we gotta test it out, but it obviously works for her skin. She's been using it, including on her drunk nights. She does not sleep in her makeup. And I'm glad to see that she's staying consistent and tying that hair back. It quells my anxiety.
This exfoliating powder. My hands are a little wet, so it kind of turns it into a paste. All right, now you look like the Michelin Man. That's a good thing. I do this like twice a day. I'm gonna rinse it off. Then after this, I dry my face off and I make sure it's super dry. So I use this peel. I don't use any other peel. Skin Inc. Pure Revival Peel.
Wait a minute. Something funny just happened here. Vogue linked a product that is literally the Tatcha Deep Cleanse Gentle Exfoliating Cleanser, but what Doja Cat whipped out is actually, it looks like, you know, a sodium bicarbonate or like a rice powder exfoliant. IR confusion.
A few moments later.
I have found it. The actual product that this is the Tatcha Rice Polish Foaming Enzyme Powder. Fascinating. I actually really like these kind of rice powders or these very fine powders for physical exfoliation. If you grew up with acne, did anybody else learn to just scrub off their skin? Physical exfoliators are not great because they can damage the skin. St. Ives and Kylie Skin Walnut Scrub. But for those of us who grew up with physical exfoliation, there is something about that feeling that is hard to get rid of, yet we don't want to damage or strip our skin. And that's why there are some physical exfoliants that I actually really, really like. Now this one, let's take a peek-see. The initial ones that come to mind, there's one that's from Dermalogica that I love, the Daily MicroFoliant. You whip it before you put it on your face. Most people use that product wrong. And then there's also one from Wishtrend, the K-Beauty one. It can be a little stripping if you have dry skin, but for oily people like me, oh, it's great. Let's see what this one has. This one's more expensive than the other cleanser that Vogue actually linked. Monocrystalline cellulose, rice powder, which is actually very gentle. Rice is a carbohydrate. It's basically a very sugary molecule, and so it absorbs water well, and it's more gentle on the skin. It's rounded instead of jagged, like a walnut shell or an apricot pit. We do have sodium lauryl phosphate, which can kind of soda up, some glutamate, a whole bunch of those, basically a bunch of foaming things that you see in cleansers. Hey, we also have the Camellia sinensis, again, this green tea leaf. We do have some ferment filtrate, some rice bran extract. I actually like this a lot more. I feel like this is actually worth a try. We also have some algae in here, which is really nourishing nourishing for skin. I usually like algae better if it is in a leave-on treatment, but this does seem pretty good with some AHAs. This is actually one of the first Tatcha products that I am quite impressed by, and a lot of them are sold out. Oh, they have different colored bottles? Okay, hi. Well, Doja Cat may have just sold me on this. Vogue linked the wrong product, but okay. I'm very excited for this one.
So I use this peel. I don't use any other peel. Skin Inc. Pure Revival Peel. And I let it kind of like sit there for like 5 seconds. And then I start to go in circles around my nose first. My face comes off. That's like a horror movie. Rinse that off.
This is interesting. I do like and I don't like for different reasons. So fun fact, most people don't know that Skin Inc. actually creates a lot of customized products. I don't know if they're vegan and cruelty free. I used them before I was vegan and cruelty free, but I actually went to Barcelona in Spain where I got a Skin Inc. facial. It was actually one of the coolest experiences, and they really customized it to my skin, and my skin loved it. They do have some good products, and I will say that this product is not one that I like, because as you see when Doja Cat's doing this and like all these little granules, these little noodles are kind of pilling up on the skin. This is another form of physical exfoliation. If you just did the Tatcha, you don't need to do this. But a lot of people are like, oh, it's my dead skin coming off. No, it's not. It's the product balling up on itself. If you were to take the same product and put it on like a glove, it'll still ball up because it's the product itself coagulating. There's things in it that evaporate off and the solids are left behind. And a lot of companies will literally sell this to people and say, oh, your skin's peeling, it's amazing, it's the best thing ever. But they're just taking your money. It is one of the most gentle forms of physical exfoliation that you can get. So that is a great thing, but it's not like, you know, your amazing skin cells sloughing off the way these marketers will have you believe. The ingredients in here prove it. Again, PvP especially, a lot of good stuff, but you know, it's just interesting. There are other ones. There's one from Wishtrend that we've tried. There's a peel off mask from like Amazon that I've tried. We should look at those under a microscope.
And it should look all grainy and crazy like that. So then after I do that, I dry my face and then I do Witch Hazel. Kind of prepare it for everything else.
Witch Hazel. Witch Hazel gets a really bad rap from the internet, but Witch Hazel, at least when I was in aesthetic school in 2009, like it was loved by estheticians. Everyone loved Witch Hazel. They're like, it's better than alcohol. It can still be drying to skin. It can still be irritating. It's a nice mild astringent. I don't know which one she's using. Vogue did not do a good job linking these products. I don't know what this is. I know it's not the Thayers. The Thayers one is very popular. A lot of people hate it and a lot of people like it. I actually don't hate the Thayers one. Dr. Dustin, 208 Skin Doc, Dustin Portella, you should totally follow him, by the way. He's amazing, and he actually loves the Thayers as well. It's not as bad as some people on the internet make it out to be, but again, everyone's skin is different, and that's why experimenting with things one at a time, isolating those variables, is important. And if this works for her, her skin is glowing, beautiful, it seems to be doing well. I do see a little bit of hyperpigmentation. That's what I love about Doja Cat. She's so honest, blunt, and real. Like, she's not here to impress anyone. Very much the vibe I appreciate, but I don't know if it's active acne or if it is a little bit of hyperpigmentation or both. But I would like to see something, you know, maybe like a vitamin C toner would be really good. Overall, I don't know what's in this one, but if I had the opportunity to speak to her, to, you know, put my little hands on her face and to recommend some products, I might instead go with some of these.
Kind of like a base. I put a base after the base. So this is an essence. I do like a few drops, but it's very watery. And then you just rub that around. I love it. She applies her skincare in the right order. That is so wonderful to see. You don't need to use a toner and an essence, but if you do, this is the way you should do it. I love to see her patting that on. Essences are kind of like thicker toners. They're normally made to be a little bit more hydrating to skin. They really come from K-Beauty, whereas toners, the goal was to penetrate and balance the pH. The history of it is that in the past, cleansing bars or cleansing soaps used to be so alkaline that they would really strip the skin and damage the skin barrier, especially a lot of these bar soaps that people used to use. Nowadays we have much better cleansers, but in the past that's what we had. So people would use toners to bring that acidity back down. There was a long time that I was using a very alkaline, very stripping Dr. Bronners soap, and boy did it degrease, but it would make my skin so dry and so irritated if I didn't use an acidic toner. I think I was using the Juice Beauty one right after to bring that pH back down. And that's the purpose of a toner versus an essence traditionally. Now, of course, all of those lines have been blurred, you know, and people can find essences that have exfoliators or acids in them
people can find toners that are more hydrating. But traditionally, that's kind of the history of them and how they came to be and their purpose. And if you are to use them both in a routine, this is how you would do it.
When you slap your face, you're bringing kind of the blood to the surface.
Well, okay, she's not wrong. Did you know that slapping the face is actually a facial technique? There are literally facials where people will go and pay $100 to get their face slapped. And I'm not just talking, I'm talking full on whoosh, like literally straight up. And yes, it does promote blood flow to the face. If you're into that kind of thing, then go for it. There are definitely other ways with massage to, you know, stimulate the blood flow and the circulation. I bet you I'm gonna be so, am I red? I just slapped myself. Hey, what's your job? I slapped myself on the internet. Yeah, it's actually a thing. She's not wrong, and as long as you're not hurting yourself, go for it. I don't know what essence she's using though. Anybody, Vogue did such a bad job blinking products for this one. If anybody knows, please tell me.
So then after that, you do a serum. I do like one of those, and then go crazy.
Go crazy. I don't know what this serum is either. Does it look like Estee Lauder? Did that bottle look a little Estee Lauder-ish to you? Estee Lauder has like this one color that is just iconic to them. Help, somebody help.
Then after I do my serum, I do my eye cream, like that much. Boom, swirl it.
Again, why did Vogue link none of these? The eye cream, I don't think she needs it. I know that she's done her drunk skincare. I know that she's using some good stuff here. Could that possibly be the Tatcha? It kind of looked like the Tatcha purple if we slow it down and rewind it. But truly, they're not disclosing it, and I do not know. Doja Cat, fun fact, actually recently launched her BH Cosmetics stuff, and she has these eye patches. We actually did a video on that back in September, October, November, and guess who didn't edit it or post it yet? We're working on it, but it just hasn't happened yet. And she actually has eye patches now. So this was filmed in 2019. I bet you she uses her eye patches now instead of this eye cream, because most of the time eye cream is a gross waste of money. It is an overpriced moisturizer, but if she feels she needs it and if she feels good wearing it, go for it. Just know that you're probably wasting your money.
You're supposed to be pretty gentle, but I'm not. And I use it as a lip balm. After that, my cream.
She is not wrong. You know what I recently used as a lip balm? The Beauty Pie Eye Serum. It works very well. The lips, the vermilion border, this area is slightly different. You don't have the same like oil glands, and you don't have hairs growing out of your lips, obviously, whereas you do have the pores underneath the eyes. The lips are different, but eye creams, as long as you can ingest them, as long as you're not like eating them, you can use your eye cream as a lip cream. And speaking of, today's video is sponsored by cows who use eye creams as lip cream. I'm a cow. I'm a cow. I'm not a cat. I don't say meow. I use my eye cream on top of my mouth every morning before I go out. This video is sponsored by cows that do great things and their kitten counterparts. Did you know that cows have 4 stomachs and they are utterly wonderful creatures? This video is brought to you by mad cows without mad cow disease, who do have beef, but only with the meat industry, not with other cows or humans or kittens. Adopt a cow today. No, actually, if you want to adopt a cow, Juliana's Animal Sanctuary in Colombia has some amazing frickin' cows. One is named Belaram, one is also named Bernie. If you want to cuddle with cows, go to Colombia. They can always use donations, so we are not cats, we don't say meow. Adopt a cow.
After that, my cream, boom, I use my nail. So what, like that much? Put it on my face.
I must say, her application is flawless. She used the back of the nail. I don't like it when you have to shove your hands in something. I'm hoping that she washed them. She did wash her face, so that's good. This again is the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream. We see this all over. It's expensive. It has some good fermented ingredients, but it's not a miracle. If you have the money, go for it, but there are a lot of things that are less expensive that are just as good. And again, this is like not authentic Japanese beauty. Slow Brew is the Japanese brand I've been loving. There are others as well. I know that SK2 is like really popular. They have some fermented stuff. I think it's overpriced, but you can find, you know, Patina, and you can find other fermented products for much less expensive. I just think like her literal application, her authenticity, I'm here for it. She's too smooth.
Sunscreen, I take it, This one evaporates really nice. Put that on.
What is it though? I'm looking at this and at first I thought she maybe wasn't using a sunscreen because again, Vogue linked nothing, but it looks like she's wearing a sunscreen. Does anyone know what this is? I know there is this Japanese sunscreen that has like this blue bottle. It's from Amazon. Is that what it is? Her skincare line with BH Cosmetics does not have a sunscreen. She's got a lot of makeup but no sunscreen. Give me some answers, please and thank you.
And pat it in. Put an oil on top of your moisturizer. It holds it down all day. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's a lot of oil. Is this the Biossance oil? It kind of looks like it. Now they linked the Burt's Bees cleansing oil. To me, that did not look like the Burt's Bees cleansing oil. That looked like the Biossance oil. Vogue is tripping. Like Vogue is on something. Vogue is on something special, something elemental. But oils over sunscreen, I would tend to say no. And the reason why is because oils have a tendency to remove makeup, remove sunscreen. They can really break things down. And if your oil is formulated into your sunscreen, then it's formulated in a way that's going to protect the skin. But if you apply an oil on top of the sunscreen, you're effectively removing what's underneath. Now, skincare oils are great. I do use them. There are ways to make it work, especially if you have a mineral sunscreen, but that's why layering your skincare can be so complex. I do like that she's patting, she's not like dripping this down her face, but in general, if you're really looking to get the most of your sun protection, I would say use a spray type something that has an oil in it for a little bit of a dewy glow, or just skip the skincare oil altogether and just use it at night.
5. And it's gonna make you look sweaty, but that's okay. And the oil mixes with your foundation and it makes it look a lot more natural.
That is true, but a better way to do that is actually literally to mix your oil in with your foundation first and then apply, because again, we don't want to remove that layer of sunscreen. Her routine, honestly, like if we gave it a rating all the way from I'm a cow to I am a holy goddess, honestly, her application is great. All of the products aren't really linked, so I don't know what all of them are. Based on what I've seen, a lot of it feels kind of hypey. Some of them are overpriced, but none of them are like La Mer, which is good. I would actually give this like a solid maybe 6, 7 out of 10. If we were to get this from like the cake to the cake with the cherry on top, you know, being fed to a room of goddesses, the distinction there would be adding a few vitamin C products or making sure that vitamin C products are in that routine. And actually understanding, you know, if this is acne or hyperpigmentation and whether or not she wants to treat it, and applying more sunscreen. That's how we would get this to like a 10 out of 10. But overall, I am impressed. This is an impressive routine. I want to know the details, and you know what? I want an updated one for this year. I'm an impatient 4-year-old, and that's what I want for Christmas. I want for my birthday, for frickin' Valentine's Day. I want information. Jeez, the way that sounds, you might as well call me Bezos or freaking Meta, wanting data that badly. Anywho, I also want you to reapply your SPF, stay hydrated, and be beautiful both inside and out. Let me know if you want me to post that Doja Cat video from months ago about her BH Cosmetics skincare line, and I can't wait to see you in this other skincare routine. Love you guys. Bye.